Welcome to this presentation. So today we're going to look at predictions about the future, talking about the future, will, may and might. And we're also going to look at the first conditional. Okay? So we use will, may and might to make a prediction about the future, to talk about the future. When we're making predictions, we also often use think or don't think. So, I think the weather will be good tomorrow. I don't think the weather will be good tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at will first. So we use will to talk about the future. We use will when there is a higher level of certainty about the future. Okay? So will is often shortened, especially when we're speaking English. And will not is shortened to won't. So will shortened to will, and will not to won't. So I will, I'll. I will not, I won't. You will, you'll. You will not, you won't. He will, he'll. He will not, he won't. She will, she'll. So I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll. It'll, it won't. We'll, we won't. And finally, they'll. They will, they'll. They won't. So this part is quite easy. I won't, you won't, he won't, she won't, it won't, we won't, they won't. This part is a little more difficult. I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, we'll, and they'll. Okay, so let's look at some examples with will. Talking about the future, the global population will be bigger in the future. I think people will have fewer children in the future. There will, or you can also shorten this to there'll. There will be more problems caused by climate change. There'll be more problems caused by climate change. And when we're using think, if we're saying a negative, it's more common to say I don't think and then will than I think and won't, okay? So I don't think it will be a problem. It's better to say this. I don't think it will be a problem. Not I think it won't be a problem. So I don't think it will be a problem. Some more examples with will. Will live longer in the future because there'll be better medicine. We will live longer because there will be better medicine. Will and they'll. Will work less in the future because technology will do more work for us. Okay. Might and may also talk about the future. But we use might or may when there is less certainty. So will, more certainty. Might or may, less certainty. It might rain today. The party may be cancelled. In the future, we might find a cure for cancer, or we may not. In the future, we might have free Wi-Fi everywhere. In the future, we may not be able to travel on aeroplanes because of climate change. So in the negative, might not, can be shortened to mightn't in spoken English usually. So we could say, in the future, we mightn't be able to travel on aeroplanes because of climate change. But it is also very common to just say might not. For example, personally, I almost always say might not. I don't really say mightn't. So it's as common, if not more common, to say might not. And may not is never shortened. It's always may not. Okay, and finally, let's look at the first conditional. So we use first conditional to talk about the result or the consequence of a future action. So we use if plus the present simple plus the future with will or won't. Let's look at some examples. So we've got if. This is the possible future action. Here we go, the future action. And the result or consequence. So, possible future action, present simple. If I study a lot, I will pass the exam. If I get a better job, I will. You are kind to people. And if, so this is like the opposite of the first one. If you don't study, you won't pass the exam. So notice how if the first part is positive, so study, if I study a lot, the second part is also positive. If I study a lot, I will pass. But if the first part is negative, then the second part is also negative. If you don't study, you won't pass the exam. Okay, so first part positive, second part positive. First part negative, second part negative. And final thing, notice how we usually put a comma after the first part of the phrase, the if clause we call it. If you don't study, comma, you won't pass the exam. But it is also possible to change the order. So you can say, you won't pass the exam if you don't study. I will earn more money if I get a better job. People will be kind to you if you are kind to people. So we can change the order, that's okay. So that's the first conditional. And that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for listening and have a great day. Bye-bye.